minds?
It is time.
It is time. All right, so tonight we are talking about the 2020 stimulus checks. And there is a lot of stuff here, and you may have already heard something about this. These are the $1,200 checks that are coming, but we're going to answer a whole bunch of questions, so hang with us, and then we'll answer any questions you might have that we have found the answers to.
So I think we all want to know, when are we getting our money?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about how much you're going to get, who's going to get it, who's not going to get it, because a lot of people aren't going to get it.
Really?
Yeah, fortunately. I mean, not a lot. Most people are, but we're going to talk about who isn't going to get it.
Stay tuned for that.
We're going to talk about what you need to do to get it, if you need to pay it back, because there's a lot of confusion about this, how to avoid scams related to it, and then we're going to talk about when you will get it. So those are the kind of main topics we're going to go through over the next probably 10 minutes or so. So hang with us. Share this with anyone who needs this. If you know anybody who doesn't know this already. Yeah, and I got a little comment thing over here I'm going to pull up as soon as I can. Get this over here. Pull up these comments.
Hey.
Slick Whips. Hey.
Slick
Glad to
Whips.
have you with us.
That is a great name.
That is a great name. That is an awesome name. Slick Whips. I love it. Why did I get a boring name like Bob? I don't know.
We have a friend, literally his dad's name is Steady Cash. Is that not the best name you've ever heard in your life?
Like that. Yeah, I kind of don't believe that that's real.
I know.
You know?
Well, Steady is short for Armistead, I guess, but
Yeah.
man, I love that name.
All right, so let's get to it. So who's going to receive the stimulus check? So like we said, $1,200 is going to basically every adult male with the social, or not adult male, every adult, just went way back there. Every adult who has a social security number is going to receive one of these government stimulus checks. So $1,200 for adults, $2,400 for couples filing jointly, which we do. That's how we roll. And then $500 for each child under the age of 17.
Nice.
So if you are a dependent adult, the person claiming you on their returns will receive the money and not you. So if you've moved out of your parents' house and they're no longer claiming you, then you will get your own check. But if you're still living with them, they're claiming you as a dependent, then sorry, you're not going to get a check. So these payments are phased out kind of gradually once a couple thresholds are released. I'm going to make sure I'm getting all these. I'm going to be looking over here a lot to make sure I'm reading the actual right information from the IRS, because I just don't want to get this wrong. But basically, they're going to start phasing out for singles once you make $75,000. So $75,000 or below, you're going to get $1,200. Once you hit $76,000, it's going to start ramping down.
So you'll still get some money.
Some money, all the way up to, I believe it's $99,000. So if you are single and you make more than $100,000, you are not going to get a check. I'm sorry.
But
if
you make $100,000 a year and you're single, so
yeah.
probably pretty well taken care of.
Yeah. All right. So if you are married filing jointly at $150,000 as a couple, it will start phasing out. And that descends all the way down to $198,000 as a couple. So if you make $200,000 filing jointly, you are not going to get a check. All right, a couple other kind of examples here that I think are worth throwing out. So you're a married couple with 2 kids. You have a combined income of $120,000. So that'll be $2,400 plus the $500 for each of those kids, which will put you at $3,400. If you were a single parent with 2 kids making $45,000 a year, you would receive that $1,200 and plus the
$500 per child?
$500 per child, so it's $2,200. Did I say 2 kids? Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I've written here. So yeah, I mean, those are just a couple little examples of what this might look like for you. But let's talk a little bit about who isn't eligible now. And yeah, so like I said, needing a social security number is one of those things. It's like you need a social security number in order to get this money. So if your adjusted gross income is greater than $99,000, like we were talking about, you won't get it. If you are over $198,000 married and filing jointly, you won't get it. If you can be claimed as a dependent, like we talked about also, then you will not get it as well. If you do not have a social security number, a valid social security number, you will not get it. If you are a non-resident alien, you will not get it. And then a couple tax forms that if you filed these particular tax forms, you will not be eligible. And I don't know what these are. I'm not an accountant. But if you filed the 1040-NR, 1040-NR-EZ, 1040-PR, or the 1040-SS, any of those. If you filed any of those, you will not get it either.
Okay.
So, anyway.
Sorry.
All right, moving on to the next question. Hopefully you don't fall into any of those categories.
Yeah.
Do you need to take any action to get it? And the simple answer here is no. You don't need to do anything. The government is going to take care of this. You don't have to fill out a special form, which is really nice. You just be you, and the money is going to come.
Just do you.
Just do you and just wait. All right, so yeah, there's a couple more caveats here, which we should kind of address here. So any questions? Porcupine, I see you have a question. Christy, I'm not sure if that's a question. Anyway, we'll get to questions in just a few minutes, so hang tight. We'll answer questions right towards the end of this. All right, so yeah, so this is how the IRS writes it. So let me go ahead and just kind of read this. So no additional action is needed for taxpayers who have already filed their tax returns this year for 2019. The IRS will use this information to calculate the payment amount. Now, if you haven't filed for 2019, but you did file in 2018, you should be good. You don't have to do anything else there. If you are on Social Security, this is a question I've gotten a whole bunch, or railroad retirement, which I don't even know what that is. But if you are on Social Security or railroad retirement, you don't have to do anything, and you will have the stimulus check set to you with no action required on your part. Okay. So that was a question that I think there was some confusion about for people on Social Security, but you should be set. All right, another question that has come up a lot is, do you need to pay it back? And there's some confusion about this. You know, and I'm not talking like on a macro level here of the fact that we just added $2 trillion to our national debt by doing this. Because yes, there is no such thing as free money. This is coming out of something, somewhere, sometime. Our kids are going to pay for it or something. But in terms of the short-term crisis situation that we have, you and I receiving checks, we do not have to pay it back. Now, one of the things that has come up too a little bit is what happens if I don't get all the money that is supposed to come to me because it's not calculated correctly or whatever. So that potentially could happen, and the IRS actually already addressed that on their website. And so basically, and I'll just read it here. So if you qualify for more than you receive, it will be credited to your 2020 tax return. So if you're, getting $1,000 back after you do your 2020 tax return, it will just be added to that. If you have to pay a certain amount, it'll just be reduced by that amount on your 2020 tax return. Now, on the other hand, if you get a bigger one than you actually qualify for, then you won't have to pay it back, which is kind of surprising, but that's what they're saying, so that's great. Now, through all this stimulus stuff, I've been saying this like a broken record. A lot of the stuff rolled out really fast, and they are making changes to it on the fly, and so some of the stuff is possible it could change. I've watched a couple different things, like on some of these key government websites where they literally had it up, had it public on the website, and then they changed it like after the fact. So it is possible that could change, but that's what I'm reading as of right now. All right. As far as watching out for scams, because anytime there's something like this in 2008 when we had that big stimulus, like scams like crazy, and a lot of them are really terrible, and it's like kind of obvious something's up. Like just from looking at a lot of this stuff, like one of the dead giveaways is like typos. So if you see like typos, and I know some people don't notice them as much, but like I have a little bit of an eye for that. And if you see typos all over the stuff, like it is not legit. Like, yeah, an organization like the IRS, I mean, I'm not saying it could never happen, but
little typos too, right?
Yeah.
Like spelling the word our, O-U-R, spelling it A-R-E.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I guess it's because I don't even want to speculate, but I don't know why. But it just seems like a lot of scams are just riddled with typos. So let that be a dead giveaway to you. But
Is it possibly because they're not maybe English speaking?
that's possible. I mean, the people who are doing stuff like this, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think there's any point going down this path here. But anyway, so you need to know also the IRS is not going to call you. They're not going to email you, contact you on social media, asking you for any information. Like, they're not going to roll like that. That's not how they're going to do things. And so just assume anybody who contacts you like that, it's just not legit. And it's just
Because they probably don't have time to call every single American.
Well, yeah, they're just not going to do that. They're not going to text you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like with emails, watch for emails with some sort of attachment and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's your tip for today. All right. So now the big question that I don't like the answer to this, but when is the money coming? And this is another one of those things that has kind of been a little bit, they rolled it out so fast, and they had really grand ambitions and expectations for what was going to happen, but we don't know. That's what it comes down to. If you look at the IRS website right now, what it says is middle to late April, I believe. And so maybe that's soon, but if you look back at the past history in 2008 or 9 or whatever that was, some of those checks took a couple months. And so I don't know what's going to happen here, but hopefully they'll come soon. If you, for your previous tax return or for this year tax
that
return,
wasn't nearly as fast, was it?
that was not
They were
rushed
planning
nearly
that.
as much. Whereas this was, Trump just like, get it out there, let's go.
Well, let's see. Trump gets stuff done.
Trump gets stuff done, no doubt. Like, the man can do that, but
so who knows?
But anyway, but they were supposed to, and this wasn't the only one. I think the EIDL loans, which for small businesses, which we talked about in a previous video, those are supposed to be going out, I think, by April 3rd, and I don't know a single person who's gotten a payment of that yet. So
if you've
just
gotten
have
it,
patience.
let us know, though, so we can spread the word.
Just have patience. They are going to come, but
nobody knows when.
Yeah, so if you go to the IRS website, it says, we will start sending payments. Yeah, it actually doesn't even say mid. We will start sending payments to most Americans in April. And then the next thing they say is, do not call. Don't call us and bug us about it. We will send you your check. It says most people won't need to take any action. Check back often for updates. So they are going to be updating the website. We will have this link in the description, so you can check out this website for yourself and just see when they change it. You can check it every hour if you want. But
But I mean, that's probably good, because if you think about it, it's like it hasn't even been a full month yet, really, right?
No, the whole thing. I mean, it's, for as crazy as it's been, it has been impressive that they've been able to get done what they've been able to get done.
Right, but I mean, even talking about just like people, I mean, I guess a lot of people are paid every 2 weeks, but I'm just thinking like monthly, thinking in terms of monthly bills.
Yeah.
It's probably.
Yeah, but everybody wants their money as fast as possible.
I know I do.
Comment below if you want your money. If you don't care.
If you don't care.
If you're like, no, they can take 6 months. I don't care. I mean, everybody wants it as soon as they can. But anyway, if you did, I got lost on this train of thought. If you direct deposited your tax refund for 2019, then they're going to have your direct deposit information. That most likely is going to get it out to you a little bit faster and send a paper check. It always does. But yeah. So anyway, we can answer some questions about this if anybody has any, and then we can kind of go from there. And hope you guys are doing well. Is everybody doing good? We're doing good. We had a good day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it was a beautiful day.
So breakthrough. For those of you who were on the other night, we were talking about some of our parenting kind of challenges here. We have a 2-year-old daughter who we're potty training. We're in quarantine. Like, now is the time. We've been putting it off for so long, but now is the time. It's like we're not going anywhere. We're not going on a road trip, so it's just like perfect. So anyway, so we made some progress with her, but then like 3 mornings ago, she gets up in the morning, 6:15, and our 6-year-old son, who shares a bunk bed with her, came in our room and said, "Yeah, Valerie just went and stood in the middle of the room, pulled down her pants, and just peed on the floor." And we're like, "What?" And so I get out the carpet cleaner, I go clean it up, and we had a long talk with her and everything. And then the next morning, she does the exact same thing again.
And then she does it again.
And then yesterday
3
morning,
days.
she did it again. And we were both like,
Oh my god.
And they all say, like all the parenting books say, like, don't
Don't
scold
shame
your
them.
child. Don't discipline them. Even in.
Yeah, we.
And we're like, well, what about when
definitely-
she's
we were
doing
like,
it on purpose
yeah,
to spite
this
us?
is a
Like, what are we
defiant
supposed to do that?
moment. Either that, or I think maybe she was like trying to entertain our older, our son.
But she did not do it this morning, so hallelujah. That is
No.
the breakthrough that I wanted to let you know
Yes.
we're really excited about. That our 2-year-old daughter did not pee on our floor this morning. Because it's about to start smelling like a barn in there. So
About to.
what if we didn't have that carpet cleaner? Like, what would we do? We have this
would've-
carpet
we
cleaner
would've
that
bought one.
is really good. But what do people do if they don't have that? What do you do?
Vinegar. My mom doesn't. She likes vinegar and baking soda. I don't know what she does.
Just doesn't get it all up. Anyway, too much talking about all that. So
Bodily functions.
anyway, let's answer a couple questions. All right, is it too late to get married to someone with kids to qualify? That is a great question.
Awesome.
I can't tell if it's serious or not, but it's a great question. Yeah, I have no idea. Call the IRS. Ask them.
No, do not call. They said
I know,
don't
but
call us.
That's a great question. Just call them to give the guy on the line there who's taking 1 million calls a laugh. That'll be helpful.
Quick, let's get married.
All right. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Slick Jose. Anna. John, hi from Minnesota. Brenda, let's see. Is there a form of tracking us? Yeah, I don't know. John, I can do that. Downey Forever Softener. I love this. I love these names. All right. A 20-year-old college student who used to work full-time for 2 years before I got laid off. What?
Don't forget to talk into the microphone.
Okay, well,
so they can hear you.
I think they can hear me.
Okay.
All right. I live with my parents and I was claimed as a dependent. Will I get my money? If you are claimed as a dependent, probably on this year's tax return and it's sent in, I would assume no. I would assume that they are going to get your money. Yeah, because that's what the IRS is going to look at.
Maybe you can ask them for
They're
it.
going to look at, ask them.
I would.
Yeah, because on their tax return, if they put you as a dependent, the IRS is just going to see that, and they're just going to send them the money. So.
Yeah, but if you're 20.
People got their checks
give it to
already?
you.
Question mark. I don't know. Has anybody gotten their check already? Leave us a comment. Let us know.
Yeah, I would love to know.
What about if your spouse owes back due child support? How does that work? Man, I have no idea. I haven't seen anything about that, Michelle. I haven't seen any details about that at all. I wish I knew. Call the IRS, even if they say don't call. When do the checks go out? We already talked about that. TPS, temporary protection status holders who paid taxes for more than 20 years are eligible for a stimulus check. Question mark. Angel, I do not know. I haven't seen anything about that either. Slick says he's already had 3 scam calls already.
It's a she.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Man, that's
Sorry,
a cool
Slick.
name. I'm sorry I missed it, but I like it. Hopefully they will come Friday. Hopefully. We'll see. Are there any strings attached? I heard if businesses have the money, the government will have partial ownership of your business. All right. I don't think you're talking about the stimulus checks here. I think you're talking about something else. But we did in a separate video about the EIDL and the PPP, which are the 2 small business things. But even those, if done correctly, there should be no strings attached according to everything that's written on the Small Business Administration government website. So government should not have partial ownership of your business.
Look at this. Todd is saying, you said that the parents would get the money to the 20-year-old college student, but don't they have to be 17 and under?
Oh, that's a good question.
Isn't that what you said at the beginning?
No, that was what I read, and I don't know how that works. I don't know where that line is because I think you can still claim a child as a dependent if they're over 17. And so if that means that you're 18 and your parents are claiming you as a dependent, like
they don't get.
Who's getting the money?
Maybe nobody.
So I don't know. Call the IRS. I don't know. Yeah, this is the thing about these things where I was talking about this about one of these other programs where sometimes you'll have things that are just complete oversights where there's contradictory information, or in this case, stuff that doesn't overlap, and where there's this void of, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds who might be claimed as a dependent, and like what happens in that situation. And I don't know the answer. And I don't know if the IRS has even thought this through yet, because it's so fresh and so new. All right. Okay, I'm on Social Security. Should I have gotten the check yet already? I don't think so, but I don't know. When did the checks go out? We talked about that. We talked about this. All right. I wish they would send food. I'm stuck in the house. That would be... Well, I don't know. I don't know what type of food the government would send. Like, I'm thinking it wouldn't be the most delicious food you've ever had. And, I guess these are times when people are just like, we'll eat whatever. But, yeah. I get that.
I don't know. I don't know if we're there yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want, like, MREs or anything. Has anybody eaten an MRE? Like, I went on a backpacking trip. I did. The backpacking trip with, like, 4 or 5 other guys. We climbed up this mountain. These types of things where you're cutting your toothbrush in half to save a couple ounces because your pack is so heavy. And so no one wants to bring real food. They just bring these Ziploc freeze-dried things of MREs, which is, like, I think it stands for made ready to eat or something like that. This is what the military eats, or Navy SEALs eat, like, out in the jungle or something. Anyway, I tried this thing, and it was just hideous. Like, it was so terrible. It's like it's supposed to be a blueberry cobbler or something. It's been freeze.
I love that you bought that, because you were probably like, I'm going to get the blueberry cobbler. That sounds awesome. And then you ate it, and you're like, this is not anything like a blueberry cobbler.
It was terrible. It'd been freeze-dried for like 20 years or something. And, anyway, so I don't know what the government would say. But if you've ever had an MRE, let me know in the comments. All right. I don't want it, but my landlord does. Hey, Sean. I've been sick for, 2.5 weeks. I am sorry, Slick. I hate hearing that. C. Hopeful says, I don't know if I'm saying your night. I'm many nights like that. I just got here. Odd entry topic. Welcome, Sean. Welcome to the party. I'm spending that money on games, clothes, food, etc. That's a reason I quit drinking. I'm sorry, like, we're kind of like bouncing all over here. I'm trying to get to the questions. How do you guys plan to use a stimulus? That's a great question. So in 2008, we prayed about this, and we decided that, well, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, I mean, I think you called me up and you were like, they're giving us this to stimulate the economy, so that's what I want to do. So we took a trip. I think we might have already been planning a vacation, and we were like, this is our money for the vacation. I think we spent it a little bit differently than we would have if it would have been our, just our regular money. So it was like, with the purpose, we were a little bit, I guess extravagant is the right word, but at that point in our life, we weren't doing much extravagant.
There wasn't much extravagance
so,
at that point.
But it was like, we went out to eat a little bit more often, or we got dessert, instead of...
Yeah, there was intentionality behind using it to help other businesses.
Yeah.
And
especially right now, I feel like...
Yeah, I
mean, all businesses are struggling, really, but especially the small local businesses, like, that would just be a great place to spend that.
Yeah, we're in Nashville, for anybody who doesn't know, and we love our town. And there's just a lot of great small businesses here, small restaurants, small coffee shops, whatever, little donut shops, whatever the thing may be. And they just have a lot of character, and they make up, and it's really like this through the whole country and the whole world, but they make up so much of the character of what makes Nashville great. And a lot of the big businesses can ride through something like this and sustain it a little bit better. But smaller businesses, often it's a lot harder for them to survive something like this. So we are doing what we can to support those small businesses in this phase right now. And I think we'll probably take that same approach, where we will use a lot of this money specifically to support those businesses.
Yeah.
So I think that's
what we'll do.
Yeah.
Would love to know what you guys are planning on doing.
Yeah, I mean, to add to this.
Thought processes.
Yeah, and what I should add to this is that we have been affected by this whole thing. It is affecting our business. It probably will continue to affect our business, probably for the rest of the year. But it isn't something that is likely to drive us out of business. Whereas I have some friends running other small businesses in town where it's like there's a really good chance that a few months from now they're not going to be in business if people don't step up to really support them.
Yeah.
So my point in saying that is, if I was the business owner of one of those other companies, I probably would be saving it for my family and saving it for as an emergency fund type situation. And so if you're in that situation where you lost your job, like, I probably would be saving that money.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, and if you do need to buy groceries, it's like still try to support a grocery store that you want to stay in business. But
Right.
yeah, we're not in a crisis situation personally. And so that's a little bit more why I think we're a little more willing to go out and spend it.
Yep.
All right. Okay. They say if you own child support that you will not get the money. Okay. Thank you, Brenda, for sharing that. Let's see. Will the stimulus payments go on cards from tax service offices, such as HR on a Block's Emerald Card? I haven't found any definite answer. So I have an accountant that I use that I've used for a while. We used to use H&R Block and TurboTax years ago. I used them every year, did my taxes with them, and I loved them. But I have not used that, so I don't even know what that is. And so I don't know. But I'm assuming, based on what you're saying, it sounds like they give you a refund on a physical card that you can swipe or something like that. Maybe that's the thing. And I really don't know. I would guess not, because I think that's probably an in-house program where they are kind of giving you advance of some sort on it and blah, 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 but I could be wrong. All right, virus related, what does this say? Okay, homesteading in the heartland, I will check that out. Okay.
They're talking about MREs now.
Morgan said, yep, had the MREs in basic training, best food ever, haha. Okay. How do you get the public to accept socialism? Wow, we are getting deep here. Yeah, this is not a question for me to answer.
Yeah, we're not professionals in that arena.
But man, I have opinions. I'm just not going to share all of them right now. Okay. Yes, 8 MREs, military. Yep.
From Action Jackson.
Okay, that's a cool name too. Everybody's got cool names.
I know.
How do you get a cool name on Facebook? Like, I just have a boring name.
That's
Or
YouTube.
this is YouTube. Okay, even on YouTube. But anyway. All right, do you agree?
Should we tell them our eBay name?
Yeah. Who wants to know our eBay name? I mean, it doesn't matter. We're going to tell you. If it's not, you can tell them.
So, yeah.
This is like from what, 12 years ago?
Dwight Schrute. Is it Dwight Schrute?
Is it?
Wait,
no,
no,
I
it's
changed
Ron,
it.
it's
It
Ron
used to
P.
be Dwight
Swanson.
Schrute. It used to be. So I made it Dwight Schrute, and then I changed it to Ron Swanson at some point. Anyway, that's our eBay handle.
We had to guess his middle name though.
If you ever buy something, yeah, because
Swanson.
somebody actually had Ron Swanson, and so I had to put like some random middle initial in there.
We guessed his middle initial.
But it was fun when it was Dwight Schrute, because I had a couple interesting conversations with sellers when I was buying something from them or selling. Anyway. Art, do you agree with the government spending of this stimulus money to help the economy? Man, John, that is a good question. I have mixed thoughts. Like, yeah, I'm not excited about all the debt. But because, like I've been telling you, I have friends who are really hard up in this. And it's like seeing it firsthand and seeing how much their business is impacted and seeing how that is hitting them. I'm happy that there is some action being taken to help sustain them through this. Mm-hmm. The same with...
and just people losing their jobs.
Yeah, the same with situations like that. We were just talking about last night about a couple friend of ours, and they're representative of probably tens or hundreds of thousands of people across the U.S., but they both basically instantly lost their incomes in the middle of March. Mm-hmm. And so they have no income and no prospects of it anytime soon, and they have kids, and what do you do? Like, what do you do? What do you do? And so I'm glad that the government is taking steps to help. I mentioned this the other day, that Mark Cuban, very successful billionaire businessman, I mean, he said that he doesn't really like Trump. He's been very much opposed to Trump, but he said that this is the best stimulus package for small businesses they've ever seen. Just in the way it's structured and laid out and how it is actually helping. So he had good things to say about it. So yeah, I'm not excited about all the debt, like the long-term things. All the pieces that are concerning to me. The fact that China owns so much of our country. All of these things are a little bit concerning, but it's also like a crisis situation that needs some action. And so, yeah. So that's my answer. I don't have a great answer, but that's it. All right. All right, let's go here. All right, let's talk about Dave Ramsey. So Brenda's saying Dave Ramsey disagrees with us. All right, I'd love to hear it. Let's talk about it. He says applying the money to the baby steps is still stimulating the economy. You can still work towards your goals. Applying the money. Okay, so
the baby steps are.
Yeah, I know. I guess it depends on what baby step you're talking about. Like, I'm not like completely disagreeing with him. I'm just saying I think it's something that is different for everybody. But like, I would rather. If I'm in a situation where I have no emergency fund and I need $1,000 emergency fund, like I agree. Like if you have no emergency fund right now, like throw that in your emergency fund. But if you're doing okay and you're going through this thing okay, like there's just no doubt.
If you're still working and everything, you can pay all your bills with what you've got pulling in, then it makes sense to use it to stimulate the economy. I guess.
And there's just no doubt.
To help out someone else.
In our case, if I go down to our 3 or 4 different friends who have small businesses and I give them money from this thing multiple times, and they are able to keep employees on staff, like that is going to do more than if I just throw it in my Capital One account and let it sit there and earn interest. Like, so it depends on what baby steps specifically you're talking about, but
well, yeah, anyway. We don't want to get into a debate about
it. Get Dave on here. Let's chat. I want to...
This is our personal, opinion. This is what we're choosing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all.
For what it's worth.
You think about it, pray about it, and decide what you're going to do, right?
Yeah, for what it's worth, I have a ton of respect for Dave. Like, and we were just...
We just met him.
We live... Just another random thing. Really we live... Close. Probably literally 2 miles. No, maybe not even that. Maybe 1.5 miles from his headquarters where he works. We are like so close to him.
Right across.
And we just went to this thing at his place.
In September,
this event,
October?
a few months back, and we got to meet him. And
and
he's a nice guy.
We love Dave.
He's a nice guy, and he's really, really good at what he does. Like I walked out of the thing like, man, you are just seasoned and really good at what you're doing. Like he just walked into his room like unscripted, like kind of talked to this group of 50 of us or whatever, and he's just great. He's just really great. And he's done so many great things for so many people, and I just have a lot of respect for him in a lot of ways. All right. How do you not force vax? All right. We're not going to get into that either. All right. There's too many things here. Too many things we are not going to get into, but... thank you all for your comments. We're gonna stay in our lane and talk about money
there is
stuff.
one more.
Okay.
That you can maybe answer.
Okay. We will maybe start a vaccination debate channel or something where we can do that.
No, we won't.
And then we'll start one about.
We can't handle the hate from that.
No, man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So my question is: are the people on Social Security disability receiving the stimulus? I'm 100% disabled. Yeah. So Emma. We were answering this earlier, actually. So, yes, people on Social Security will be receiving this based on everything that we have read from the IRS website. All right. So, we are going to call it a night for y'all. We are going to be back tomorrow night. Or actually, we are not going to be back tomorrow night. Linda's flying solo tomorrow.
By myself, you guys.
So, come and be nice to her. Ask her all day.
Don't ask weird questions about vaccines. I cannot help you there.
Yeah, but we will be back. She will be back.
I'm really excited.
Tomorrow. And then on Saturday night, we're going to be talking about investing and if now is a good time and how to get started and stuff like that. So, because I keep getting questions about this over and over and over again. Should I invest now? Are we at the bottom of the market? Should I invest now? So we're going to talk about that on Saturday. So come back, hang with us, and we will chat then. All right. See you guys.
All right. Bye.